Right, I was doing a bit of thinking last night about, and it's the same as when you start any project, thinking about things you could have done different or things I could have incorporated and that, but never mind. But one thing I did think of is maybe I should have put some paper in between the wood here, so if I get any seepage of glue it goes on the paper and not the wood, because it's easier to get the glue or paper off of the wood than it is to get wood off of wood. And another thing that came to me last night was about the clamps, because I've got two Keter workbenches, and the first one I bought, I suddenly remembered had clamps with it in the tray, so I've now got two 300mm clamps. But the icing on the cake, after I bought these ones the other day, which I still need because these are 400, but Lidl's this Sunday have got two 300mm clamps for £6.99, or 450mm I think for £6.99, so that's bloody typical. Anyway, let's take the clamps off of this and we'll see, as I fear, if we have had seepage. Well, they didn't fall off, did they? Oh, and I've left the bloody motion sensor down the other end as well. Oh, good start. Where are we? That's better. I've also redesigned that box yet again with 0.0098. That don't bode well. No, there has been seepage. Bollocks. Oh, that just... no, that don't look pretty. Never mind, I was saying that. That's why I should have put paper. I hope it hasn't seeped into this front and the back. Oh, don't look like it there. Hello, maybe a little bit there has pulled a bit off. But that will do for me. Yeah, that'll do. Right, I suppose. Yeah, well, I've got to sand it anyway, so hopefully that glue will just sand off. Yeah, right, I'm just going to get the front and the back glued up so I can get the clamps on, and then that will be the base done. Then I can put the top on, drill my holes to hold the top down, then cut the base of the console and then drill some holes through and put some insert nuts in to make sure that that's all okay. Probably won't get a lot done today, as I've got to pick the missus up from the bus station, but I don't know when, so alright, let's get this glued up first. Catch ya later. That's the box all glued and clamped up, so I've got to leave that for a couple of hours at least, then I can take the clamps off. Remembered the paper this time, or the card, so yeah, I'll just leave that and I'll load up the laser now and see if this curve cut is right. Okie dokie, I've just cut the other box. We'll see what the curve's like on this. I don't get this. Is that any better? It doesn't seem. I'm changing it in the software, but it doesn't seem to be changing it, because this is no tighter than the first one. Maybe just a tad, but yeah, that's a little bit tighter, but not overly tight. That was point. I'm going to have a last attempt at .0099. That's about as close as you can get, unless I start going .00998 or something. Oh, damn. Okay, yet another box. This was cut at, just in case you're interested, at .00995. So let's try this one. Oh, I don't know. I'll give in, I think. Just doesn't seem to be making any difference. Wrong bit. Doesn't seem to be making a lot of difference at all. It's either tight or it's not tight. That's another box. Well, as with anything new, there's a learning curve, much like 3D printing, and it's the same thing really. You try something or design something, don't quite work, you design it again, don't quite work, design it again, and it works. It's all about learning as you go. What I am going to try is that black acrylic again, but I've peeled the protective tape off and I've masked it just with normal masking tape, so I want to see how that performs, which I shall do now. Well, that cut a lot better than last time, and the cleanup is far easier. I'm not too worried about these little bits of adhesive on there. because it won't matter when it's being used as a stencil. But yeah, got a bit of, to clean it up, you can see the honeycomb bed, but that has cut a lot better. So I think that's the way I'll go when using this stuff. Okay, this is the last one I'm doing because I'm getting the hump with it now. Ooh. No, still. No, I'm not faffing about with it anymore. That's God, what is this? 0.00999. It's about the closest I can get to 0.1. And it's made a little bit of a difference, but not that much really. Just a tad, but it's still falling apart, so I'm going to keep it at 0.1. I think might be a bit hard to get together, but I can't see, I'm not faffing about no more. Okay, time for the clamps to come off and see what mess. Oh, I'll put them down there for now. Should have reached 80% of its strength. Right. I need a cardboard stuck this time, which is better going by that lot. Going by that lot. Better than it sticking to the wood, and I should be able to just get that off with, where's it gone? I can get all the glue off with this little chisely thing, just like that. Can we get this off? Yeah, that'll come off easy enough by the looks of it. Right, you're not going to want to see me go. As I said, it's going to have a sand anyway, so you don't really want to watch me spend the next God knows how many minutes getting all that off. So, oh, while I'm here, check to see if the top still fits. Might have pulled that in a little bit. I think it has pulled it in a little bit. But that will be doable, yeah. Yeah, that fits okay. I'll measure it up for the screw holes, mark it out, so the screw holes about there, there and there, and that should hold it. Right, quite happy with that. Right, let's start the clean up. That's that all cleaned up. As I said, I've got to give it a sand anyway, but that's all the black tape off and a lot of the glue. I've got to go and pick the misses up now, so I'll mark out and drill the top a little bit later. That's the misses picked up. Took longer than expected, so I'll only be able to do the top tonight. I've marked on the outside where the blocks are, so I just want to transfer them to the top. That's the front, so I'm just going to slot that in again. Oh, no I don't. I want to measure the, I think I had that. Yeah, I'm just measuring the end of the blocks, which looks about 20 mil. I think they're all 20. Yeah, give or take, so roughly 10 mil should be the centre. Now I can put the top on. Right, I want to transfer them lines up and over. So I'm going to use that, take them off. That one comes to there. That one comes to there. And there. And there. And I didn't mark that end. Typical. And there. Then I've got me 20 mil. Where the blocks are underneath. Didn't transfer that line up. It's roughly in line with there though. So that is the blocks marked. Now I want to get it in the centre of the wood, so I said that is about 10. Let's see how that looks. If that's on the centre, by the time I mark it, it will be. So that's my centre line. Now I'm just going to work out where the screws are going to go for this one, where the bolts are going to go for the other one, and that's going to be about it for a day. So I'll just have a think where they're going to go, and I'll mark the holes and I'll drill them. Okay, I'm just going to drill the holes through. This might look a little bit different to the markings that I had before because I had to flip it. I had it upside down. I'm just going to go through with a small pilot drill, then I'm going to flip the top off and go through with a countersink drill. So just a little. So now I'm going to flip the top off, and I have to go careful and slow with the countersink just to make sure I get it just right and I don't overdo it, otherwise there won't be nothing for the screws to cling to. On the top, that is the head of the screw. That was drill, stop, check, drill, stop, check. But yeah, I've got the screws in. Well, I haven't got the screws in. I'm just about to do that. Obviously these are not going to be rammed up. Just enough to hold the top in place. Hello, that one's a bit tight. Don't know what happened there. That should do, and that's the bottom box complete for now. So it's just a sand and a paint, stick some foam in run the wires up through there, get the console base. If I cut that tomorrow, hopefully that will match up. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is this is, because it's not glued, it's splaying out a bit. Now I don't know how to stop that really, because as I said, I want it to be fully serviceable, but at least that has got that done. What's my battery like? 18%, just in time too then. But that so far is that. Right, I'll leave that screwed up overnight, and I'll take the other big sheet that I bought down here. I'll take it back up indoors, because I think the moisture down here will warp it by tomorrow morning. So that's it for today. Thank you.